thing and I don't know really what to do. What's the avenue? What's the best thing? How can I help? If you know, there are people, we live in right now a society where it seems like, you know, they're here for 2-3 years, they use the area as a stepping stone and they're gone. So there's no maybe affiliation to really, you know, being a citizen in the true sense. But there are the people that, you know, some of them are here all their lives and they want to help out, or maybe there's a focus that they'd like to help out. What advice can you give them?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there's been plenty of new people coming into Peekskill that have really chipped in and helped out tremendously. But you know, the police really do rely upon the public as their eyes and ears, and it's important that if somebody does see something that looks suspicious or criminal, or even has a problem and requires or thinks they require the need or the services of the police departments, and it's important that they do reach out and contact us. And it is our job to make the public feel comfortable enough to do that. And
is there anonymity involved, or do they want to call up and say, look, this is such and such, and here's my number? Do you take one with a grain of salt, or do you think you take both of them with pretty much the same amount of fervor and say, no, we're going to investigate and see what's really going on here?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. And people do tend to think that we're in the business of sharing information with the people we're investigating, and that's absolutely not the case. But on the other hand, if somebody is not comfortable leaving their name, and I can certainly understand that, they don't have to, and they will not be pressured to at any time. They can certainly remain anonymous from the beginning to the end, and that's fine, and I respect that, and so does the police department respect that. The fact that somebody calls the police department, it doesn't mean that their name is going to get out there. We don't have caller ID, so to speak, where your name flashes up on a screen saying that this person's calling when you call the general number. Right. However, if you do call 911, for safety purposes, we are able to determine where the phone call comes from.
Of course.
And that's important. I mean, I've been to many, and I think if you talk to any police officers, they'll tell you the same thing. I've been to many, or encountered many situations where people simply call 911 when they need help, and they either leave the phone open or they hang up. They're just not in a position where they can talk. So it's important that remain a vital part of the 911 system. But people who call and wish to remain anonymous will get the same level of service. A police officer will be dispatched to investigate what it is you're reporting, and that will always happen. And if it doesn't, that's not acceptable.
Is there any future idea like an interactive website with the City of Peekskill, or is there a website now, and or is that connected to the City of Peekskill itself, and then you drop down to another attachment, or how does that work right now?
I'll have to say that Chief Tumalo, since he's been been the chief of the department, has always been open to new things, and he's been at the forefront of technology. He's tried to get the best equipment for the police department, and he's tried to stay on top and use what's available to him. And as we speak, we are looking for other ways to get out to the public. The public has come to expect that they be able to get information from us. They've come to expect that, and with the internet, there's a whole brand new way to find things out, a new horizon, so to speak. And in this respect, what we're looking at is to get a web-based program to where we can shoot out information to the public on whether it be about sex offenders or a recent crime wave or a missing person, but to shoot that information out to email.
I was just going to say, like an email blast where...
Yeah, it would be an email blast, it would be a text message, it would go to your mobile phone, and it's just another way to get information out to the public.
Sure, and that way they become, once again, their eyes and ears for you as a police force.
And then on the other end, it will be a way for the public to give information back to us, and keep their confidentiality, which is important to people.
So right now, if actually someone wanted to email you, say, listen, I think there's something that seems mischievous or something, they can actually email right now to the City of Peekskill Police if they want to.
Absolutely. They can go on the department website, or actually on the city's website, and click on the link for the Peekskill Police Department. And then there's an email link where they can shoot information to us via email.
So it's not always a criminal investigation. I mean, sometimes it could be something as simple as maybe a code enforcement where they need backup or whatever the case may be, correct?
We are committed to improving the quality of life in the City of Peekskill. That has been Chief Tumalo's goal since he became the chief. And in doing that, we will investigate whatever your problem is. If it's a barking dog, if it's somebody who's littering, if it's somebody who plays their music too loud or
too late at night, whatever the case may be.
Call the police. We are there to help, and we will be there when you demand our services.
Sure. Well, are there any other way where, like, do you do any interning by any chance, or internships where, like, for prospective police coming through, or maybe, just to go once again with the youth of the community in order to give them an idea what's going on within the city of Peekskill? Like, is there a youth bureau there? Are you interactive with that?
Okay, yes, we do. We work with all agencies in the city, the Youth Bureau in particular. We do a citizens or a youth police academy in the summertime, where children ages 13 to 17 or 13 to 16 can come to the police department, work in a camp-like atmosphere for 2 weeks with police officers, and kind of get a taste of what being a cop is all about.
How long has this program been on?
That program has been going on for 6 years. This will be the 6th year that we're doing that. We also host interns from local high schools, Peekskill High School, Walter Panis, Hendrick Hudson, Lakeland, Westchester Community College. We bring people in and we show them. We give back to the community in that sense. And again, we try to use that to not necessarily recruit people, but to show them what being a police officer is about.
What goes on. They may think it's just a blue uniform and a badge, and they think that's all that's to it. But then when they go out and about, they realize there's a lot more involved and entailed.
Of course.
Well, that leads us then to the one question that everybody always has, and that is, as a business community, we're always looking to make Peekskill more attractive, whether it's beautification efforts, whether it's events coming into the downtown. But in the end, it's going to be and the question always becomes is Peekskill a safe city? Simple as that. And
the simple answer is absolutely. Peekskill is a diverse city. We touched on that earlier. It's a wonderful city. It has a lot to offer. Sometimes it does get a bad reputation, I think, because of its diversity, and that's a shame, but that's human nature. But Peekskill absolutely is a safe city. Sometimes you'll see some crimes that are committed that are violent crimes, and it makes the paper, but it's important to point out that the overwhelming majority of violent crime in Peekskill is between people who know one another. The regular person who comes into the city to use one of our wonderful restaurants or to attend a show at the Paramount has virtually no chance of being a crime victim. I don't want to say he doesn't have a chance, because there's always a chance, and then people need to remain vigilant.
So it's almost like on a domestic front rather than on a crime front, in a sense.
Of course. Yeah. To be a citizen coming to Peekskill, you're absolutely safe.
I mean, listen, we know there are new businesses opening up every day. There's more people coming in every day into the city of Peekskill. And the overwhelming majority, continue, like you said, as even the new ones coming in now feel they really want to show how they want to put Peekskill on the map, whether it's through our cultural society, the artist group, the Hispanic growing, community that's also coming into the area. And I don't get the feeling that they're all saying, well, we got to get out of here. The majority seem to be, it's growing. It's not getting any smaller, that's for sure. Not only our commercial base, but our residential base is also increasing. And also means a lot more efforts on your side, too. I
mean, I've talked to countless people who have come to Peekskill to visit, and the message is always the same. We love it. They love what we have to offer. It's a great community, and we want people to keep coming back.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Eric. It's been a great, I think, half hour. Yeah. I hope it's been informative to many of our viewers. We hope to maybe have you back again as maybe for some other special event. How old is the Peekskill Police Force anyhow? Are we looking at 50, 60, 70 years plus at least? Or are we even go back to the days when it was a village?
We go back to the days village police department. It started with one police officer, and it goes back quite some time. So.
Well, you've come a long way, baby.
We sure have.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We'd like to thank everyone for listening tonight. We'd like to once again thank Detective Sergeant Eric Johanson of the City of Peekskill Police Department. And we'd also like to once again welcome everyone, our viewers, our future viewers. If you have any questions or comments, you can call me at any time. You'll see the phone number listed later on in this program on the things. And if there's any, and we have already a list of about 12 to 14 scheduled guests coming. We hope it's informative. We hope you get a different slice of life of what goes on behind the scenes. And like I said, any suggestions or comments, we welcome them anytime. Thank you very much. I'm your host, Domenic Volpe, signing off for tonight. Thank you.